Today, we're diving into the story of Unicity, a company that had a product they were sure was a winner. But when it just wouldn't sell, they had to make a huge change, not to the product, but to their entire way of doing business. This is the story of that make or break pivot.
So let me ask you this. What do you do when you've poured everything into an amazing product? You know it works, you know it can help people, but it just sits on the shelf collecting dust. Well, that's the nightmare scenario Unicity found themselves in, and how they got out of it is what this explainer is all about.
All right, so to really get what happened, we've got to go back to the very beginning. Before the pivot, there was the product, and that product was born from a really ambitious idea.
This was their founding mission, the big idea that started it all. And it's something we can all relate to, right? Life is busy. We're always on the go. They wanted to make being healthy easy and convenient, not another chore. That was the promise.
And here it is. This was their hero product, the first shot at delivering on that promise. It was called BioSlife, and it was designed to help with two huge health issues, cholesterol and blood sugar. It wasn't just another supplement. It was a pretty unique formula, and the company was all in, totally confident it was going to be a game changer.
So you've got this powerful mission and this innovative product. You get it into stores all over the country, and you just wait for it to fly off the shelves. But that's not what happened. They hit a serious wall.
And yep, it's that simple and that brutal. Despite all the science and all the potential, the product just fizzled out. It wasn't moving. So you have to ask, why? What went wrong?
And here's the heart of the issue. It wasn't about quality. I mean, the product was getting endorsements from professionals. The problem was the setting. Just sitting there on a store shelf, it looked like everything else. But BioSlife was different, and it needed a story. It needed an explanation that you just can't fit on the back of a box.
This is where things get really interesting. Faced with this failure, Unicity did something radical. They didn't change the product. They changed everything else. They realized BioSlife didn't need a shelf. It needed a conversation.
So this was the brilliant new game plan. They pulled it out of retail and built a whole new model around person-to-person sales. This gave people, distributors, the chance to actually talk to customers, to build a real connection, and most importantly, to explain why this product was so different. It solved the exact problem they were facing in stores.
So, the big question is, did it work? Oh yeah. This pivot wasn't just a patch to fix a problem. It turned out to be the engine that would drive the company's growth for decades to come.
Just look at this timeline. You can see it right there. 1990, the product launches. And then boom, just 1 year later, 1991, they roll out the new distributor model. That single decision seems to be the domino that knocked over all the others, leading to the company's official formation, new leadership, new products, all the way to what they're doing today.
You know, a person-to-person model is only as good as the people in it. Their passion has to be authentic. And Unicity's story has this incredible example of that, a journey that starts with a single believer and ends up in the CEO's chair.
Think about this. The future CEO, Stewart Hughes, didn't just parachute in from business school. He started out as a distributor. Why? Because he'd used BioSlife himself and seen the results. His belief was personal, not just professional. And you can bet that first-hand experience shaped his entire approach when he eventually took the helm as CEO.
And wow, you can really see the results of that pivot in the sheer number of products they offer now. They went from that one single product that was struggling to find its footing to a portfolio of over 400 items today. That is a massive expansion.
And that growth didn't just stay home. That person-to-person model turned out to be incredibly adaptable, and it allowed them to go global. Today, Unicity has a market in over 60 countries around the world. It just goes to show you how scalable that pivot really was.
Okay, so that journey brings us to today. After all that growth, all that change, what is it that drives the company now? Did they stick to that original mission, or has it changed?
Today, their mission is boiled down to these three simple but powerful words: make life better. It's definitely broader than that original goal, but you can totally see the DNA of that first idea still in there. It's just evolved.
And looking forward, their vision is to be a global leader in something they call health intervention. Now that word is key. It's not just about selling a product.
It's about actively stepping in to help people improve their health, with the business model itself being part of that opportunity.
You know, if there's one big takeaway from Unicity's story, it's this. A groundbreaking product isn't always enough. Sometimes the most important innovation isn't in the bottle, it's in the business model. As the world gets more and more complex, it really makes you wonder, what's the next great product out there that will only succeed if it completely changes how it's sold?